In this video, we're going to be going over 8 things that Olympic athletes do to separate themselves from good or even great athletes, really showcasing that it's much more than talent or having the right genetics or the right coach or just luck in general, but instead, it's very controlled and very focused on the daily habits, the daily disciplines that elite athletes are taking every single day to make it so they can be amongst the best ever, or at least amongst the best in the world currently. And just to give a quick background on me, my name is Morey. I do these sprinting breakdowns or mechanic breakdowns to focus and showcase how elite athletes are able to perform at a high level when it comes to their mechanics. But I also do a lot of studying on my own time to better understand what is it that separates elite athletes or just elite people in general. I'm trying to be elite when it comes to developing a better YouTube channel and a YouTube page and just becoming a better overall presenter and speaker. And while I know there's a big difference between being an elite athlete and an elite YouTuber or elite business person, there are a lot of things that overlap when it comes to elite performance. And that's really what we're going to get into here today. So we'll go ahead and hop right into it. The first one is going to be the training and really focusing on their sprinting development, their sprinting mechanics. The more that we study the top athletes, Noah Lyles, I just did a video on Subing Chin, even looking at Usain Bolt, he didn't put a big focus on how much could he squat, how much could he deadlift, but instead, how could he get better range of motion that's going to be specific to his sprinting mechanics? Or when he's doing lunges, when like Usain Bolt, when he was doing lunges, he would have a action through the arm. Or when you saw Subing Chin doing a lot of the exercises that he does, he focuses on being very explosive. And so when going through your training, it should be about how can you be more explosive? How can you be faster, and not about the strength? And also, how can you stay healthy? What are the movements that you're doing within the running that's going to make it so then you can understand at a deeper level what is it within your body that needs to improve? The range of motions, the strength, the stability, the power, the explosiveness. Put a focus on developing your speed within your training and take the time that you have for training to emphasize speed development always, and do not waste time in the weight room or waste time on your body trying to develop something that you do not need, or waste time on anything that is just going to take you further away from your goal. The further away that you get when it comes to your training or the exercise selection that you have, then that's just what it is. It's getting you further away from the attainment of your goal. So make sure you're focused, hyper focused when you get to your training. Transitions perfectly into the next one, which is when doing things like your warm up, your stretches, the drills. Be very focused on the mechanics and how it is directly impacting your mechanics, and maybe even adding in different drills, different exercises to get more detail to your specific mechanics. I see a lot of people that I work with or train with, the focus isn't always on the warm up. And I think to some degree that's normal, but the elite athletes, right, the best ever, the people that are hyper focused on being amongst the greatest, they are going to be consistently focused on those drills and how are they executing those drills. The more you can stay hyper focused on your current task and how well you are going through the current task, then the more that will correlate into better performance overall. So when you're going through a warm-up drill that is specific to sprinting, and if you're not focused on how that drill is going to directly impact your sprinting mechanics, then you're not going to end up getting the most out of that drill. So make sure you're very focused, you're hyper focused when you are going through your warm-ups, your drills, your exercises, even when you're working out, to make it so then when you're sprinting, all the things leading up to it were directly correlated to your sprinting performance, to therefore get the best out of your sprinting workout. So when you're about to start your warm up, make sure that you lock in and you use it as an opportunity to build up your body, enhance your mechanics, and therefore will get an immediate impact on your performance. So the first two things are more focused on the training and what they do with the training. The next will be more focused on the things outside of the training that I think can have an even bigger impact on your ability to be elite when it comes to your performance. And the first one is elite athletes feed their minds with a healthy diet of positive thoughts centered towards their achievement. I think all elite athletes have an unshakable belief in what they can accomplish, and therefore they want to outwork the competition. They want to put in the extra time. They want to actively search for ways to separate themselves from their competition and gain a mental edge on their competition. And I think this only adds to their belief and self-confidence, like a heat-seeking missile, actively searching and destroying the negative thoughts, habits, and actions that are holding them back. How can you get very centered in your thought process and making sure that you have the right positive mentality and also a very focused mentality towards what it is that you're trying to achieve? So the next one is going to be that they are active students of their craft. Yes, they rely on their coaching and the professionals that are around them, but they're also taking full responsibility for their successes and their failures, which means that they're constantly learning and they're seeking to understand how they can get faster or how they can get better, how they can get stronger, right? How they can better understand the utilization of their body to make it so whatever Olympic type of, there's so many different things when it comes to Olympic athletes, right? There's weightlifting, there's long distance running, there's sprinting, there's throwing. So whatever that is that they're trying to achieve, they're looking to and actively searching who's the best, how are the best doing it, how can I get better or closer to the best, what can I do within my daily routines to make it so I can get the most out of myself. And therefore, they're pushing the people around them to learn more about how they can also raise themselves up, right? When you're around an elite athlete and who's trying to actively search for how can I get better, you as a coach is also pushed to that same type of level. How can I help and make it so I can get that much better? How can I be that resource that they're looking for? Because if you can't, as a coach, then you're not going to be a coach for very much longer, right? They're going to find somebody else. So actively be a student of your craft. Don't put the success or failure in somebody else's hands. This is your life, and you are the person that's going to be able to ultimately have to live with the decisions that are made around your life and around your performance. And the next one is, and this is number 5, I think elite athletes do a great job of surrounding themselves with the best people. And again, this is what separates the good or the great athletes, right? We see people that are able to maintain a high level of success and be good at really any type of level. But the best, we recently see this with Gout, right? This is a great story. I just wrote this down where it's like, he ran the fastest 100 meter. If you're unfamiliar with him, he ran the 100 meter in Australia, the fastest ever for under 18. I think he ran it in 10:07. Wind aided, and also ran it with 10:17. Right after he did that, they made an announcement after the Australian Championships that he was going to start training with Noah Lyles, who is the Olympic 100 meter champion. He's the fastest American of all time. And what that shows is both from Gout and from Noah Lyles, they want to be around the best. They want to learn from the best. They want to have people around them that are looking to be the best ever, right? Gout's getting compared to Usain Bolt as somebody that could be in that same type of level. So why not go train with the best? See what the best are doing. See what I can improve on within my performance. So the only way to do that is to study and be around people that are at a higher level than you. And same thing for Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles wants to be around somebody that is also seeking that, because now he will feed off of that. He'll feed off of that drive and hunger that Gout is showing. He'll want to kind of big bro him a little bit, where it's like, yeah, I'm the best. I'm the Olympic champion. You can't, touch me. And so that's going to make it so Noah Lyles gets better because he doesn't want to get beat by some 17-year-old kid. So again, it just shows the importance of surrounding yourselves with the best. The question here is, are you surrounding yourself with people who are okay with how things are, that are okay with just the current version of you and are not really pushing you to be a better version of yourself? Are you falling into that same trap of, everything around me is okay, or the best one around the people that I am constantly around? And if that's the case, I would say let's try to get around people that are going to push you. How can you become a better version of yourself? And so I would just ask yourself that simple question, like, who are the people in your life who are pushing you to be better? And are you surrounding yourself with other top athletes? And if not, why not? And not only for your own benefit, but also potentially for their benefit. All that's going to do is create a healthy level of competition in your training sessions to make it so you can both get better. And I always love that quote where it's like the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And so some of these things are right around us that we could take action on today that will make it so, yeah, it's going to be maybe a little comfortable, a little bit painful to reach out to somebody. But if we don't, the pain of regret is going to be much bigger. And number 6 is elite athletes rely on their diet as high performance fuel for their Lamborghini or Ferrari. So when you go to the gas station, we all know there's different fuel grades depending on what type of car. So when you have a Lamborghini Ferrari, you have to put in the highest level of fuel to make it so then you're able to drive that type of car. The lower level of fuel just doesn't work in the engine. The engine actually breaks down. So you have to put in the highest level of gasoline, or also for elite athletes, you have to put in the best type of food in order to have the highest performance machine. And while some of us can make decisions where we don't always have the best diet, and there's some times where you just don't have the option but to eat something that's not good, the overall focus for elite athletes is they want to be able to develop the discipline of having a great healthy diet, so then they can rely on their bodies to perform at the highest level day in and day out, and take away any type of potential risk for injuries or overuse, or making it so they're not able to get the most out of a particular workout. And that's really where their unshakable confidence starts to grow, is in those types of decisions. They have great decisions in what it is that they're putting in their body, and what are they doing with their scheduling, how often are they working out, how hard do they push themselves when they're working out, how much energy they have. All that is a seed to be able to grow an unshakable character. What you end up doing if you take bad, or you make bad choices when it comes to your diet, or you have an inconsistent sleep schedule, a working out schedule, that all starts to instead feed the seed of doubt. This also goes into an inconsistent sleep schedule, saying we're going to do something and not actually doing it. These are all things that make it so now you start to have more and more doubt. And when high achievers wake up, they a lot of times already have a plan for what they're going to eat, when they're going to eat, and even how much they're going to eat. It's all already decided. And so they don't have to suffer from decision fatigue in what is it that they're going to eat, or how are they going to get their next meal. It's already made, it's already prepped. All they got to do is just maybe throw it in the microwave, or heat it up really quick, and they're going to go and eat that meal. And the more you have a set schedule of what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, then it takes away that extra decision fatigue. The more decisions you have to make on a daily basis, that takes away from the really important decisions that you have to make towards getting the most out of your day and the attainment of your better future. Which I think perfectly leads me into the next topic, which is clear and defined goals. Olympic athletes do not only have clear goals, they're writing their goals constantly to remind themselves why the actions they take today are so important. I watched a video about this where Gabby Thomas talked about how in preparation to winning the Olympic gold in the women's 200 meter, she would write down every day what she was going to do in the execution of her 200-meter race to guarantee that she would be able to actually execute it. And so we all get to see her perform at the highest level and win Olympic gold, be the fastest woman in the 200 in the world. and think, okay, she must be really gifted, or look at her long leg, look at how tall she is. There's a lot of people that are tall. There's a lot of people that are really fast. What she did that made her elite, that makes her elite, is she every single day wrote down how she was going to execute the 200-meter. What steps she was going to take, how she was going to get out of her blocks, what was the strategy. And I love this quote. This is a Nick Saban quote that I think is awesome, where it says, average people practice until they get it right. And the best or elite athletes will practice until they cannot get it wrong. And the question I have for you is, when was the last time you wrote down your goals? I write down my goals every single day. I start off the day, I write down my goals. So then I'm focused on what it is I'm trying to achieve. All of my actions are towards what are my goals. And so it's very clear on what I'm trying to do because I have a focus towards the goals. If you are not writing your goals and constantly staying close to the attainment of those goals, then what you're doing is, or what naturally ends up happening, is you start working to help other people attain their goals. So make sure, take the time. It just takes like 5 minutes for me to write down the goals. It might take a little bit longer for you at first, but now I've written them down so often that I'm just so clear on what it is that I'm trying to do. I have 5 things I write down every single day that really are my main focus and what I'm trying to achieve. And the last thing is, and if you're still watching this, click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really makes a big difference. And comment below some of the answers to the questions that I have here at the end. And the big focus is going to be on action orientation. That's number 8, the last one, very action oriented and focused. And the best athletes are unparalleled in their motivation and their energy. Their energy is often infectious to people around them and give off an abundant aura of passion and inspiration. This is cultivated in their daily habits of consistent, direct action. Elite athletes do not know all the latest celebrity trends or latest news stories because they want to be making the news, not following it. They're not taking actions that are not specific and direct to their goals, and that is what gives them that aura of passion and inspiration. And they're not spending a lot of time watching the news, looking at social media, looking to see what celebrities are doing. They're focused on making the news. And so 4 questions to end this video. I hope you've loved it. I hope this really makes a big difference. I was pumped up as I was writing it, but the 4 questions are: 1, what actions can you take in the next 24 hours to get you closer to your goals? 2, what actions, if you decided to take in the next 24 hours, would take you further away from your goals? 3, what are the obstacles in your way from preventing you from taking action, and how can you eliminate those obstacles? And then number 4, what skill could you begin developing in the next 24 hours that would make the biggest impact on your better future? Would love to hear those answers in the comments down below, or even just the last one. What skill could you begin developing in the next 24 hours that would make the biggest impact on your better future? I'd love to know the answer to that for the people that are watching this. What is it that you can do in the next 24 hours? What skill would you like to be able to develop? Because this could end up helping out some of the other people that are also watching this video. Is what skill can you develop that will make it so you have a better future? Try to make it so the skill will have the biggest amount of impact in the shortest period of time. Would love to hear what that skill would be for you. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon.